What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tavian's World of Reptiles. I hope you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. Today I decided to just kind of throw up the camera and ramble. I don't have a specific topic really. I'm just kind of like, it's just been a week. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been rough and and sometimes it can get really hard to find some light when shit gets really dark, and in this world it's really hard to find happiness in it because it is just flooding with all sorts of negative ugly stuff. And it can be really really difficult to find something to even smile about, and even with family, even with loved ones, like, it gets so hard to look past all the dark that's happening, and especially because this life doesn't stop for you. It doesn't stop to allow you to just take a breath and to inhale and process one thing at a time. It just kind of keeps pummeling you with things, uh, and I see this every day, and people around me. I see it in myself. It gets so hard, and so I'm very thankful to really have this space to come to, because it really just allows me to have that time. Because we just walk around blocking out connections with people, and it can get really difficult to make new connections because you're just going from day to day, just trying to get to work or trying to get to where we're going, and we got to keep our heads down. And on the buses we keep our headphones, and we use this like musical barrier between ourselves and our neighbors, to stop that interaction, because we just don't want to talk to people that we don't know. We're all just kind of keeping ourselves safe. And it's making it hard to make connections. And if we're constantly living in this state of just like survival, and I feel like that's what we're doing as humans. Many of us are just kind of living in a state of survival, and we're not thriving. I talk about how we want our snakes to thrive and not just survive in our care. And unfortunately, it can be really hard as humans to actually thrive instead of just surviving. And I've been feeling like lately a lot myself, and my loved ones. I've just been kind of really just surviving. And when we spend a large point of our time just like trying to survive, when it gets hard and it actually gets dark, it can look really bleak. It gets to a point where you're just like, what are we even trying for? Like, it's just gonna be one thing after another after another. And so I'm very thankful to have this space that I can come to and just release, because it is hard to find light and to keep going. But I think it's important for us to have passions, and to keep hold of those passions, and to allow those passions to adapt and change as necessary, but to never allow those passions to actually die. Because when things get dark, when things get so dark, that nothing, not even your loved ones, can reach you, it is those passions that are going to shine through. And sometimes it's hard to find those passions. And I think because we spend so much of our time actually just trying to survive, even when it's not super dark, even when things aren't like super hard, but when they're light, we're spending that time just trying to survive before the dark comes again. And instead of actually thriving during that time. So if we spend more time thriving when things are going good instead of just surviving during this period, I think when it gets dark and it gets hard, it can be a lot easier to find the light, and a passion, especially if you spend every day during those points just harvesting those little passions. It doesn't matter if it's just spending 5 minutes a day doing what you're passionate about and what you're happy doing. That will help you be able to find that same passion when there's nothing else to look forward to that is good. When everything just looks bleak and dark, you can find some light in that passion that you've been cultivating a little bit every single day, just waiting for this dark period. And that's what I do with my animals, what I do with my snakes. It's why this place is so important to me. It's why my anywhere that my animals are is where is I need to be. Is what's most important for me. It really makes it possible for me to process this world, knowing that I have an oasis to come back to, that I have something peaceful to come to. Because once I get my snakes in my hands and I get to feel them move across my skin, and I get to just kind of be around just their energy and not the chaotic energy of the world, it is so hard for me to stay in a dark space when I can just come and view these magnificent, gorgeous, beautiful creatures in this dark, dark world. I get to come and see these magnificent animals, and this is what keeps me going through all the dark, and through all the hard times. Like, it's hard to stay feeling negative and dark when you are looking at something so beautiful and so gorgeous and so untainted by this world's ugly, just mess. These animals are as happy as we allow them to be. They are thriving, and they are healthy, and they are neutral. They don't have hate and anger. They can feel unsafe, and it is up to us to make them feel safe. But when they do feel safe, they are just content, and they are so neutral and calm. This is what I love about having these animals. This is what I love about being able to come home, and at the end of a really rough day, and just picking up these animals and just holding them, and allowing them to, in a way, absorb away all of my stresses, and my angst and my anger, and my negativity. And even if it's just for a few moments where I can just know that they're there and I can hold them, and they're going to allow me to hold them, and just be in their presence and be in their energy and absorb some of their calmness. It really gets me through the dark. So if you have a passion, cultivate that passion. You don't have to gung ho it all day, every day, but work with it a little bit every day to remind yourself that it's there and that why you love doing it. And so when it gets dark and nothing is making you happy and nothing can reach you, you've cultivated this little spark of light that is going to at least make you smile, if only for a few moments, because smiling, does take so much little energy, takes so little energy, while crying and being angry, takes so much energy. And so if you could just bring that energy down, if only for a moment, by making yourself smile, by looking at something beautiful, by painting something, by making music, or whatever it is that you're passionate for, just do it. Do it a little bit every day. And so when it gets dark, you will have that passion to get you through that dark, if only a little bit at a time. So I don't want to keep on going. I just kind of was sitting here and I didn't really have a topic that I really cared to jump into just yet. I have a whole list of things that I need to be doing videos on, but I just didn't really have the drive. I was just kind of sitting here wanting to be in the space with my animals, and just thinking about my life, and I want to get to doing a little bit more things like this, like where it's just kind of more like a video diary where I'm just kind of vlogging and spilling my thoughts and ranting or gushing or whatever it is I'm doing. And so I've never really done vlog type things. I've definitely always like had a topic for the most part. And so I like the whole idea of just kind of putting up the camera, and letting my thoughts go. And so I'm probably going to be doing these a little bit more, and not probably, I am. And you'll always know what it is, in case you don't really care to actually just come listen to some random off the wall topic about potentially something sad and depressing like I just did, or whatever, or something happy or random. If you don't really care about that, you really just want to hear about specific things, and I'll always like put it in the title that this is a vlog. This is going to be vlog number one. So there's going to be that, so that you can know whether you want to tune in or not, and make your choice accordingly. But I hope you guys tune in. I hope you care to hear the random, miscellaneous thoughts that are happening through my head, the random things happening with my life that are not necessarily always reptile related. But I come here to hold my reptiles and reflect. And so sometimes I like to reflect and talk out loud. And so why not just throw a camera up while I'm also handling my snakes and just rambling out loud. So I'm probably gonna be doing this a little bit more frequently. It's gonna definitely be sporadic, since sporadic my videos are now. It's not gonna be like, oh, every Wednesday there's gonna be a vlog. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I can't. I'm not the type of person that can dedicate that type of scheduling. You just know that it will happen, and when they happen, you hopefully you will enjoy them. So I'm now just rambling about this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. You all take care. Love yourselves. Love your reptiles. Love your loved ones. Love your passions. And you guys keep spreading those herbs.